I don't care what the temperature gauge says. It's freezing. No, it's not. It's 6 degrees. But that's still cold enough. What a day. Blood and sands. Well, I don't know what it's like where you are, darlings, but I can tell you it's absolutely howled it down all bleeding day here. Oh, let's get the wipers on. Right, I'll give the screen a very quick blast. Oh, risk of ice. Thanks for that. Talk amongst yourselves. Do not touch that knob. Leave that knob alone. You have been warned. Touch that knob and I'll come round and sit on your head. Oh Christ, that's freezing. That's enough of that. Right, come on. Let's do this. Let's get our bottoms where they need to be. Well, a thing happened this morning, darlings. A thing happened this morning. Oh, hang on. Hello, you lot, darling nettykins. God, all steamed up. Come on, quick sticks. Quick sticks, that's the way. That's the way. Oh, dear me. Oh, where did I leave you then? Where did I leave you? Well, I left you on the way to work last night, didn't I? And we had been talking about the news regarding the Sherpa's Lodge. And again, it's out there on live streams. I'm not sure if it's out there on a video. I have to give credit to our friend Ross, all the way from down under. He came up with the name the Sherpa's Lodge. We were talking about it on the live stream. God, it must be 2 years ago now. And he came up with that out of the blue, out of nowhere, and we all just said, yep, that's it. That is perfect. And it's been the Sherpa's Lodge ever since, even when it looked like it wasn't happening. Dear me. We get away with it a bit up here. Down in Chesterfield, there's pretty severe flooding. Oh, Lord. Oh, and it's cold. It's cold, it's cold. So, last night, decent night at the restaurant. Everything fine. Had a fun live stream. Got 10 new channel members. Welcome to you all. And that was thanks to the generosity of the lovely Mark Passad, who's it's about time I gave him a shout out on a video, because he's been a massive supporter of the channel. Videos, live streams, the whole kit and caboodle. And while I'm doing that, I should really welcome new subscribers, friends, community members who may be watching. Welcome along. Thank you very much for finding us and sticking with us. Look, there's a bloody lake in that field there. Oh, yep, we're okay. We're okay. Oh, come on, Madam Fanny. Warm up. Oh, I've got fuel. That's nice. What day is it? Friday. Expecting a busy weekend, actually. So yeah, did a live stream. Had supper, went to bed, and got up this morning. I think, touch wood, I think we're into just positive days ahead, because things may be starting to fall into play. Oh, bloody hell. Right, we're heading into fog now. God almighty, it's like the bloody plagues. What's going to be next? Locusts? How... Oh, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. How have we angered you, Lord? Why are you punishing us like this? We are your children. We love you. We go down on our knees every night. And then we give a prayer of thanks. Oh dear. Yeah. Decent day today. What have I got to report? Well, not all, but a lot of what's rattling around my mind at the moment is the Airbnb and what we're going to do to make it successful, because we will make it successful, darlings. I insist upon it. I've been doing some research. No. I was talking about this on the live stream last night, but I didn't talk about it too much because I said I was going to talk about it in today's video, and I've only just remembered that. Right, so opposite the restaurant, picture this. Opposite the restaurant, there's a takeaway that, well, it's been closed for a while now. Hope Tony's okay. Heard it was poorly. Anyway, there's a takeaway, and above that takeaway there is a 2-bedroom flat. Now, I discovered by jumping onto the Airbnb site and checking out what's around in the area, so in other words, checking out the competition, that 2-bedroom flat has been an Airbnb for some time. So it was interesting to have a look at that and have a look at their pricing and reviews. Oh Christ, it's that pothole that people are living in again. Yeah, interesting to have a look at their price structure, reviews, all of that kind of thing. Now, it looks like they get decent business. The price point, right, they've got a minimum 3-night stay. So we need to start thinking about this sort of thing, I suppose. Now, my instinct, right, this is going to be a discussion, darlings, not a rant, not a this. Right, you lot are my business partners. You didn't ask for it. You don't want it. I'm not giving you a choice. You lot are my business partners, stroke consultants. So, yeah, let's do this together. It'll be more fun if we do it together. So they've got a 3-night minimum. Well, my instinct is to say 1 night is absolutely fine. I mean, my idea, loosely, is Monday to Friday, go after corporate. Ooh, shit! Fucking hell! Oh my God! Oh dear me! A pair of clean pants, please, for Mr. Boaty. Thank you. Well, that was a heart stopper. I genuinely didn't see that. Genuinely didn't see that one coming. Right. Let the heart settle back into place, and the chocolate starfish resume normal capacity. Right, so my kind of business plan, such as it was Monday to Friday, go after corporate custom. So there are lots and lots of head offices around, offices, regional offices that are around Ripley, around the town. Now, I know this because we get many businessmen come into the restaurant, and you know, there'll be groups of chaps, normally ladies as well, and they'll be on expenses. For God's sake, mate, bloody hell, it's a good job I didn't go arse firing round that bloody corner, because you were completely on the wrong side of the road. You silly sausage, sir. Yeah, we get lots of businessmen eating at the restaurant. They're on expenses. So, of course, as soon as I had this idea, I started talking to them, didn't I? Finding out who they work with, for what they're doing here, where they stay, and what allowance their company gives them. Now, they invariably stay at the Premier Inn. It's kind of really the only hotel in the immediate area. And I've got a very good idea on average of what their allowance is for accommodation and for entertainment or dining or whatever. So that gave me an idea of the price point where I need to be at. So I've had a word with all of these guys. You know, I've made friends with them. I mean, I make friends with all the customers in the restaurant, or try to anyway. That's the way that we operate. We might be fine dining, but we're not ridiculously formal. Don't get me wrong, the service is exemplary. I make sure of that. But when we know it's okay, we greet our guests like friends. I mean, there are many restaurant guests that I'm on such good terms with that I can take the piss out of them and they can take the piss out of me. And as we know, for the British, that is the true test of friendship, whether you rip the piss out of them. So yeah, I've been chatting with them, and I've kind of said, you know, what would you think of the idea of staying upstairs rather than staying at the Premier Inn? And they kind of said, yeah, we'd love it. We'd love it. And flood. That's okay. And I've got an idea of what they need and what they would like. So, the biggest thing they all said was, we'd like a minibar. You don't get that at the Premier Inn. So I'm thinking excellent Wi-Fi, workspace, a really well-sized table which could double as a dining table, business meeting table, that kind of thing. Right, there's going to be floods coming up here for certain. The road dips, so there are always a couple of floods just around here. Oh, there's one, not too bad, and there'll be one more just here, middle of the road. Missed the worst of it. There we go. So yeah, excellent Wi-Fi, workspace. Obviously the place needs to be clean and comfortable. My plan is to go over and above. Now, I could live to regret this, but I know that a lot of B&Bs, etc., I know that they go cheap on stuff because they assume it's going to get broken or stolen. So yeah, go cheap. I'm not going to do that. I'm not planning to do that. I'm planning to make it all nice. If it gets nicked, it gets nicked. We'll see what happens. But I'm not gonna have crap in there. I'm gonna make it nice. I'm gonna make it a nice place to be. Everything will be quality. And I just plan to go over and above. So you get way more than you'd get in the Premier Inn. And you'll get way more than you'll get in an average Airbnb. So that's kind of the plan. I've got lots of ideas for little touches to make it. But doing a comparison against the other one. Okay. They are priced at, with a 3-night minimum, they're priced at £132 and 14 pence per night is what it works out as. Now that's for an entire space, 2-bedroom place. Now, interesting to read through the reviews. what did the reviews say? Well, because of their location, they kind of back on to a nightclub, and it's quite a late night nightclub, and there's a lot of noise. There were a few reviews saying that their stay was ruined by the noise of the nightclub. They made complaints. What can we do about it? Now, where we are, where the Sherpa's lodge is, you haven't got that noise. There's enough distance, enough buildings between them, including that other Airbnb. So that's something in our favour. We're bigger. We're a bigger place. I don't know how many bedrooms there are going to end up being, because quite honestly I've forgotten the exact layout of the place, and you know, I'll need to make a decision of how to lay it out. What's going to be a bedroom, what's going to be a dining room or an office or a living room. You know, we'll figure that out when we've got the keys and when we've got proper access. And I say we because, remember, you are my business partners in this. No, I'm not giving you a choice. You'll get a discount. Yeah, so we're bigger. We're going to be quieter. Right, quite a few reviews mentioned that the access to that place was down what's described as a dodgy alleyway, where you wouldn't necessarily feel entirely safe, and young locals often congregate there doing who knows what. And it did occur to me that if it's right by a nightclub, slightly older people might also use that alleyway after the nightclub closes for who knows what. We were all young once, darlings, and I'm sure that many of you, well, some of you anyway, will have been in the past, because we're all grown up and sensible now, but I'm sure that some of you, if not many, will have been no stranger to a post-nightclub knee trembler somewhere. Now, in my youth, when the nightclub of choice was Top Cats in Redditch Town Centre, Charlie Parker's used to be the knee trembler venue of choice. It was hairdressers, but it had like one of those really, I'm doing a hand gesture, you can't see. It had one of those really inny shop doorways where you could, anyway, enough about that. We don't need to discuss the things we may or may not have got up to when we were younger, do we? But if you have done anything like that, put the location in the comments. You don't have to say, I did this, blah, blah, blah. Just put in the comments, Woolworth shop doorway, or the upper story of a number 31 bus, or wherever it happened to be. That'd be quite funny, actually. Yeah, do that. Where was I? Yeah, quite a few of the reviews for that place did mention that it was a dodgy feeling alleyway. Well, we haven't got that. We've got oh Christ above, we've got a nice standalone entrance on a nice, pretty quiet street. So that's another thing in our favour. Now, I know what the Premier Inn charges. I know what the budgets are for most of these companies. So I've got a reasonable idea of the price point where I need to be. Because obviously, new place in the market, you want to hit the ground with a bash, and yeah, you want to land big, don't you? So my idea would be to attack it on two prongs, to be ultra competitive in terms of price compared to the competitors, but also to back that up with just having higher standards, better quality, better touches. I want to make people feel like they're really coming somewhere, you know, a bit special, with some really nice little touches. I do plan to go over and above. Could that bite me on the arse? I suppose so, but basically, yeah, kind of the same ethos as the restaurant, which is going to be underneath. Right, and talking about the restaurant, that's going to be potentially that's going to be a massive plus for the Airbnb, because obviously we can roll together a package whereby anyone coming to the Airbnb, they could opt for a package deal where they also get a meal, an evening meal in the restaurant. Certainly that would appeal to the corporate types and maybe other types as well. So there's loads and loads of stuff to think about, to run through, but I've got the basic ideas kind of pretty much fixed in the old mind. So that's who we're going to be going after Monday to Friday. But I'm not going to ignore potential weekend and holiday trade, because you might think that Ripley is, you know, an unremarkable little town. And in many ways you'd be right. It's a small Derbyshire market town, pretty run down in all honesty, like so many other places, and would it be worth a visit in and of itself? Not so much. Well, not at all, in my opinion. You wouldn't go there for the town itself. You might come to the restaurant, or a restaurant. Ripley has more than one, but I wouldn't recommend the others. I would come to us. We're much nicer. However, there are things around Ripley which mean that people might well choose to, given the right venue, they might well choose to use Ripley as a base. I mean, what have you got around you? Well, within a mile or so, you've got the Midland Railway Centre. That's quite a big operation. Pardon me, nose blowing coming up. I have been there. It's a heritage railway and heritage railway centre. I've been there quite a long time ago, 13, 14 years ago, something like that. But it's a popular attraction. What else have you got? Well, again, a couple of miles away, you've got the Cryche Tram Museum. Never been there, but it's pretty massive. And again, a very popular attraction. Just down the road near Ambergate, you've got the Great British Car Journey. I have been there more than once because I was paid to go there. Yeah, I did some YouTube stuff there when I was more of a car channel. So those are three attractions in the kind of immediate area, but also you're on the edge of the Peak District. You've got Matlock Bath 15 minutes down the road, Heights of Abraham, all of that business. And if you look at the prices of Airbnbs and whatnot for staying in Matlock Bath itself, you might well decide that it was worth going a little bit out of town, out of Matlock Bath, staying in Ripley instead. Because you'll get more bang for your buck. You certainly will if you stay at the Sherpa's Lodge. So I think that we could very possibly attract families, groups of friends who are visiting in the area. I think we could well get them for weekends and holidays. So we need to make sure that the place appeals to business, corporate users and family users alike. I mean, at the end of the day, I think a lot of things will cross over. What do they want? Decent Wi-Fi, clean, comfortable surrounding. We'll do it nicely. They can have leather sofas. They can have nice furniture. They can be surrounded by nice stuff. They can have a really, really good cutlery. If they nick it, they nick it. I'm planning to get second-hand rather than new. Go for quality second-hand rather than new. Then if it does get nicked or damaged, not so important. Oh, another local attraction, Denby. Denby Potteries, of course. Again, 2 miles down the road. And naturally, the Sherpa's Lodge will have Denby dinner service and all Denby tableware. It would be wrong not to when you're just up the road from Denby. So we're going to dress it all up really, really nicely. Go after corporates Monday to Friday, families, friends, groups, whatever. So tourists, effectively. Weekends and holidays. And, of course, you lovely lot. I expect you all to turn up. So, yeah, that's the bits and pieces that have been running around my head. In other news, as I suspected, the fuel cap that Steve McDonald very kindly sent, it's the wrong size. But Steve and I have been doing a load of research today, and I think that it's so complicated. I think that we've arrived at the correct size, and I think we have sourced one. Steve has also very kindly ordered some other bits, some exhaust rubbers and a headlamp repair kit thing, which is really, really kind. I really appreciate that. Bless him. And I've been in touch with the mechanic, and yeah, Netty should be going in next week. Get the little jobs done, should all be sorted. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. So yeah, that's that. Other than that, not much more to report really. We're kind of in a having to sit tight phase, aren't we? But maybe not for long. We might at least have access to the Sherpa's Lodge sooner rather than later. I mean, if the carpets are fitted next Monday, then I don't see why next week we can't be in there, at the very least doing an appraisal, if we're not actually kind of taking it on fully there and then. And yeah, Netty can be sorted next week. Sorry, I'm trying to keep an eye out for bloody, oh god. Okay, there we go. Bit of an awkward one there. Yeah, so things are moving. I need to carry on having a thinning out session at Windy Bum, so that, because even though I'm going to have a home base, I do need to travel lightly in terms of personal stuff when it comes to the Sherpa's Lodge. I can't be filling it up with all my own crap, so I need to have a proper Swedish death clean really, and yeah, and thin things down, because, you know, where am I going to be hanging out next year? Some of the time I'm going to be in the Sherpa's Lodge, but that's going to be an Airbnb business, so I can't have that jam-packed with a load of my own crap. or I'm going to be in a caravan on a seasonal pitch, again limited space for crap, or I'm going to be in a motorhome, very limited space for crap. So you know, I do need to use this. So the rest of this month basically I'm going to be thinning out crap, getting rid of what I don't need, to just make the transitions as easy as possible. Netty is on track. Yep, Sherpa's Lodge is on track. Seasonal pitch is on track ish. There's just the small matter of paying for it. Oh, and the thing I was going to tell you at the beginning, at the very beginning of the video, one of the reasons why I struggle financially and have done is I've got some historic debt. Chinese madam ran up a lot of debt for me, because even though she was stinking rich, the year that we were together she didn't pay a penny towards anything, and she ran up massive electricity and gas bills, and I've been paying loads of stuff off. And there was just a bit of a thing this morning. That's what I was going to tell you. I got a credit card paid off. Payment went out the early hours of this morning, and that's it. That's one thing fully paid off. It's taken me 3 years to do it, but I've done it. Now I've got other historical things that I'm paying off, but that's a bit of a thing. That's one thing done and dusted, kippers and custard. So it all helps, and that's one little payment that's not going to be going out next month. This month was the last, and I look forward to some more little victories of that nature. Right, that is it for this one, darlings. Thank you for tuning in. Bless you for your company. It really wouldn't be the same without you. And I look forward to seeing you next time. In the meantime, all the love in the world from me. And on that note, toodle pip. Stay warm and dry, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye bye, loves.
The YouTube channel's not any good, but he's a nice guy. I'm sorry, Mr. Boaty.
You had me at YouTube videos. Let's go, Boaty.
Boaty's such a great guy, very tall, such a great guy. I wish Boaty was here in America with me right now.
You twat. Wanker.